All right, so you weren't kidding about a deep dive, were you? This RoleCatcher thing looks intense.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack for sure.
Articles, reviews, even a couple of explainer videos. Like, wow.
It's ambitious, to say the least.
It seems like they're trying to be like the ultimate career Swiss Army knife,
Mm.
you know?
It does, doesn't it? Just trying to be everything.
Everything, yeah.
The sheer number of features is kind of mind-boggling when you really start to look at it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But I will say, the thing that really jumps out from all this material is their focus on AI.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not just like a little sprinkle of AI either. It seems like they've really woven it into like every single aspect of this platform.
It's a lot to take in. It's a little intimidating, if I'm being honest.
It can be, yeah.
Because they've got the job section, sure, that makes sense.
Right.
But then there's a network, a whole CV resume builder, employers, interviews, and a career compass.
It's a lot.
Like, where do you even start with all this?
It can feel overwhelming, I agree, especially if you were thinking about like jumping into every module at once.
Right.
So maybe a good place for us to start, and for anyone listening who's interested in this, is the jobs module.
Okay.
Because that seems like, the logical first step, right?
Yeah.
Most people coming to a platform like this are probably looking for a new opportunity.
For sure. And, I'm all about efficiency. So let's see if RoleCatcher lives up to the hype.
Yeah, right.
They claim to not just have their own listings, but to like pull in jobs from all over the internet.
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
Well, that's where this RoleCatcher.capture plugin comes in.
Okay.
And they talk about like a one-click save feature that works on any job board.
Wow.
Which, if it works as well as they say it does, could be a huge time saver.
Yeah.
Imagine not having to like juggle a million tabs or copy and paste links anymore. That's
Oh my gosh, I know, because then you end up with like 20 tabs open and you're like, wait,
right.
which one was Indeed? Which one was?
Exactly.
Yep.
So it sounds promising.
Okay, so that's great. But then do they just like leave you to drown in all of these saved jobs?
That's a good question, because I'm the same way. I save a ton of stuff,
Yeah.
and then I never look at it again.
Right, exactly.
But they've thought of that, and they have like a visual board to organize everything you save,
Okay.
which honestly is a must-have for any platform that like aggregates this much information.
Yeah.
But then they take it a step further, and this is where it gets interesting, with this thing called skill profile analysis for each job.
Okay, hold on. We have to break that down because I am picturing some like futuristic algorithm like dissecting my resume.
It's really not that far off.
Okay.
So essentially, RoleCatcher takes your skills and experience, and I'm assuming this is all stuff that you've listed in your profile,
Right.
and it compares them to the specific requirements of each job you've saved.
Oh, okay.
And then it shows you, okay, these are your strongest skills for this particular role, and these are the ones maybe you need to highlight more in your application.
So it's like having a little recruiter like whispering in your ear saying like, hey, this company really cares about X skill.
Exactly.
Make sure you emphasize that.
Yes.
That's really cool.
It is. It's way more helpful than just like a generic list of jobs.
For sure. For sure.
And from what I'm seeing, this whole skill profile analysis thing isn't just limited to the jobs module. It's like a core part of their whole AI-driven approach.
Interesting.
It pops up in some of these other features as well. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the CV resume builder.
Yes.
Because, I know you're all about a good productivity hack.
Always, always.
But I'm curious, does the idea of AI like writing your resume, is that fascinating or terrifying or maybe a little of both?
It's a little of both, honestly. Like, I love the idea of a good productivity hack, but will it sound like I swallowed a thesaurus? Like, is it going to be that bad?
That's a valid concern.
Right.
But from what I gather, it's not so much that the AI is like writing your resume for you, but more like it's optimizing what you already have. So think of it as like having a superpowered editor who can like spot inconsistencies, suggest improvements, maybe sprinkle in a few power verbs here and there.
Okay, so I'm not starting from scratch.
Right.
Starting with like a foundation.
You're starting with a solid foundation, and get this.
Okay.
RoleCatcher claims to have analyzed thousands of job descriptions.
Oh, wow.
Over 3,000 career guides, a database of 9 million employers.
That's a lot of data.
It's a lot of data.
Wow.
And they use all of that to help tailor your resume to specific jobs.
Oh, wow.
And even score different versions to see which one is like the best fit.
Wait, hold on. It scores your resume,
Yeah.
like gives it a grade?
It gives it a literal grade.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a bold claim.
It is.
But imagine the time and energy you could save
Right.
by knowing which version of your resume is most likely to catch a recruiter's eye.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Okay, that is really cool. That's like the secret weapon then.
Right.
Like, Oh, I got my A+ resume. I'm ready.
Exactly. Exactly.
But how do we know it actually works?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
It all comes down to how effectively they've trained their AI.
Right.
But think about the potential here. Instead of second-guessing every word
Right.
and sending out these generic resumes,
Right.
you're sending these targeted applications that highlight the skills employers actually care about.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see the appeal.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like me who tends to overthink every bullet point.
Exactly, and that's just the resume part.
Oh, no.
RoleCatcher doesn't stop there. They have a whole module dedicated to like the most nerve-wracking part of the job search.
They don't even get me started.
The interview.
Oh, the interview, the sweaty palms,
Yeah.
the rambling answers. Oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst. It's enough to make you want to crawl back into bed and hide under the covers.
Exactly. Exactly.
But RoleCatcher says they can help coax you out from under those covers.
Okay.
Because according to this, they've got a massive database of over 120,000 practice questions.
120,000.
120,000.
Okay, that's a lot of interview questions.
It's a lot, covering a wide range of industries and skill sets.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Okay, so that's amazing and all, but do they at least provide you with some sample answers?
Well, they don't hand you like pre-written responses or anything, but
Okay.
they do offer like valuable insights into what interviewers are looking for and common pitfalls to avoid.
Okay, okay.
And they even have this video recording feature so you can practice your answers and see how you come across on camera.
Okay, that's huge because I am a terrible judge
No, we all.
of how I sound.
Yeah.
In those situations, like I always think I'm being clear and concise, but then I'll listen back and I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a nervous wreck.
We've all been there. It's that, being on the spot, the pressure's on, and it just all falls apart.
Exactly, exactly.
But having that recording to review can be so helpful.
Yeah.
You can catch those nervy habits, work on your delivery, make sure your answers are hitting the mark.
Okay, so far so good, but I have a feeling there's even more to this interview prep.
Oh, you know me too well.
I do. There's always more.
Always more. So if you really want to take your interview game to the next level, RoleCatcher offers this Copilot AI subscription.
Copilot AI. Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Right.
What is this? Like, does it beam the answers directly into my brain?
Not quite telepathy,
Okay.
but it's close.
Okay.
So basically, the Copilot AI analyzes your video recordings
Okay.
and provides personalized feedback on your responses, comparing your performance to the insights they've gathered from those thousands of career guides and employer profiles.
So it's like having a little interview coach, like right there in your pocket,
Yes, baby.
analyzing your every word and gesture.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty impressive.
It is impressive, but part of me is wondering, is it a little too much hand-holding?
I can see that, yeah.
Like, shouldn't you be figuring out some of this stuff on your own?
That's a valid point, and it speaks to the fact that, like, the effectiveness of any tool depends on how it's used.
Right.
So while RoleCatcher provides a lot of structure and guidance, it's still up to the individual to put in the work and develop their own interviewing skills.
Right. So it's like you can have all the fancy study guides in the world,
Right.
but you still have to show up for the exam prepared.
Exactly. You can't just rely on the tool to do all the work for you.
Right.
You still have to put in the effort.
Exactly. Yeah.
But speaking of effort, let's not forget the value of practice, even without all the fancy AI features.
Right.
Just having a structured way to like prepare your answers and get comfortable talking about your experience is huge.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher definitely provides that.
It really does seem like they thought of everything.
They really did.
They've got the job searching streamlined, the AI-powered resume builder, and now this interview boot camp.
Right. It's a lot.
It is, but they don't stop there, do they?
No, they don't.
What about this mysterious career compass I keep hearing about?
Ah, yes. This is where RoleCatcher goes beyond just finding you a job
Okay.
and ventures into the realm of like long-term career planning.
Interesting.
So remember that massive database of career guides and employer information we talked about earlier?
How can I forget? It's like they've mapped out the entire working world.
Exactly. And the Career Compass taps into all of that data
Wow.
to help you explore different career paths and identify potential growth opportunities.
Okay, that's cool.
So think of it as like a personalized roadmap for your professional journey.
Okay, so that's impressive because it's one thing to find a job for right now,
Right.
but to have a tool that's helping you envision your entire career trajectory, that's wild.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, that's for sure.
It is.
But is it just about exploring options? Or does it actually help you take action? Like what's...
That's what makes it so interesting, is that it's not just about daydreaming.
Okay.
It's about turning those dreams into like a tangible plan.
Yeah.
So based on your interests, experience, goals, it'll suggest relevant skills to develop, might even connect you with courses or learning resources to help you gain those skills.
So it's not just telling you what to do, it's giving you the tools to actually make it happen.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's empowerment.
It is.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that RoleCatcher is less of a Swiss Army knife and more like a whole toolbox.
It really is, yeah.
They've got everything from a hammer to help you build that perfect CV
Right.
to a compass to guide your career journey.
I like that.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It makes you wonder, who is this platform really for?
Yeah. Is it for everyone?
That's a good question, and I think we should unpack that a bit.
Yeah, let's do it. It's a lot to take in, right?
It is.
Who is this platform really for?
Yeah, that's the
I'm
question.
sure for everyone.
I don't know if it's for everyone, but I think it could be really good for someone just starting out.
Okay.
You know, someone who's maybe feeling a little lost in the job market, needs some help figuring out their next move.
Totally.
For them, RoleCatcher could be a game changer.
Yeah, like having everything in one place.
Exactly. Having all those resources, the job boards, the career guidance, the interview prep, it could save them a ton of time and effort.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, the AI features could be a huge confidence boost.
Absolutely.
If you're new to the job market or feeling a bit unsure of yourself.
Having that extra support to really tailor your applications, practice your interview skills, it's like having a virtual career coach.
Totally, totally.
But I don't think it's just for newbies. I think RoleCatcher could also be super valuable for more experienced professionals.
Really. Even someone who's already established in their career.
Yeah, I think we tend to think of career resources as being for people who are just starting out.
Right.
But the truth is, industries are constantly evolving.
Yeah.
New roles are emerging all the time.
Totally.
Even seasoned professionals need to stay on top of their game to remain competitive.
Right.
So if you're thinking about making a career shift, or even just exploring new opportunities within your field, RoleCatcher's Career Compass could be super helpful.
Yeah, it's easy to get stuck in a rut. You know,
Exactly.
you get comfortable in your role and you forget to even consider what else is out there.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So this tool can really help you see those possibilities.
Okay.
Identify those transferable skills you might not even realize you have.
Right.
Connect you with opportunities that you wouldn't have even thought about otherwise.
So it's like having that career GPS to navigate all those twists and turns.
Exactly. And even if you're not actively looking for a new job,
Okay.
RoleCatcher's skills module, which we haven't even talked about yet,
Right.
can be super helpful
Yep.
because it analyzes your skills based on your experience and the jobs you're interested in.
Yeah.
And then it suggests areas where you might need to brush up or acquire new skills.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just about finding a job.
It's about staying relevant.
It's about making sure your skills are keeping pace
Yeah.
with this crazy job market.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about investing in yourself and taking control of your professional development.
Right. But let's be honest, it can't all be sunshine and roses.
Right. There are always trade-offs.
What are the downsides?
Yeah, what are the downsides? I think one thing that stands out to me is the sheer volume of information and features.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to process. Like you were saying earlier, it's like being handed the keys to a spaceship when all you need is a bicycle.
Exactly.
It can be overwhelming.
It can be, especially if you're already feeling stressed about your job search.
Right, exactly.
That could be paralyzing.
So I think it's important to remember that RoleCatcher is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it's most effective when it's used thoughtfully and strategically.
Right.
So you don't have to master every single feature
Right.
or dive into every single module all at once.
Start with what you need.
Exactly. Figure out what's most relevant to you right now.
Your goals, yeah.
And go from there.
Don't let the tool use you. You use the tool.
I love that. That's a good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Figure out what you need and then explore those features.
Yes.
Don't get bogged down in like the weeds.
Exactly.
Trying to understand every single thing the platform can do.
Absolutely. And another potential consideration is that some of those more advanced features, particularly the AI-powered ones, require a paid subscription.
Right. The freemium model.
Yeah.
So how do you know if it's worth it?
That's a good question.
Like, what would you say to someone who's on the fence about, like, shelling out that extra cash for the premium features?
It's a personal decision, of course.
Right.
It depends on your budget.
Right.
How often are you job hunting?
Yeah.
How much value do you place on those AI-powered features?
Right.
If you're deep in the job search trenches right now and you need an extra edge,
Yeah.
that Copilot AI could be worth the investment.
Right, especially if it helps you land the dream job.
Exactly.
But if you're maybe just testing the waters,
Right.
or you feel pretty good about your interview skill.
You're comfortable with where you're at.
Yeah.
You might be fine sticking with the free version.
Right, you can still get a lot of value out of it.
You can. You still get access to the job boards, the resume builder, a ton of great resources.
So there's really something for everyone,
I think so.
regardless of budget or experience level.
You just have to figure out what works best for you.
Exactly.
It all comes down to the user in the end.
Right, like any tool.
Exactly.
So you're saying even with the fanciest AI-powered resume builder in the world,
It's not a magic bullet.
you still got to put in the work.
Exactly.
You can't just like sign up and expect a dream job to fall into your lap.
Unfortunately not, no.
All right.
Maybe one day.
Maybe.
But for now, it still takes effort,
Right.
self-awareness, and a willingness to learn and grow.
So what does all this mean for you, dear listener?
Right. Is RoleCatcher the ultimate career toolkit?
Is it?
It's a good question.
It's comprehensive.
It is.
These AI-powered features are pretty impressive.
They are interesting, to say the least.
To say the least, yeah.
I think, from everything we've seen in these materials,
Huh.
RoleCatcher does seem to be a really powerful platform,
Okay.
and it has the potential to, really transform how people approach their careers.
Okay.
But as with any tool, its effectiveness is going to come down to the user.
Right. So like we said,
You've got to know how to use it.
it's not magic.
Right.
You got to put in the work.
You do. You've got to be willing to put in the work. You have to be self-aware.
Be open to learning new things.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe even stepping outside your comfort zone a bit.
A little bit, but RoleCatcher can give you that structure,
Okay.
that guidance, those insights to help you navigate this crazy world.
The job market, the career.
It's a lot. It can feel overwhelming.
It can. Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like having that, a personal career assistant in your pocket,
I like.
minus the awkward small talk.
Exactly. No water cooler conversation.
No water cooler conversation.
It's just straight to the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe one day
Yeah.
we'll look back and we'll be like, wow, remember when these platforms
Right.
like RoleCatcher, those were the earliest versions
Okay.
of these truly personalized career navigation systems.
Okay, now you're just teasing me
I know.
with these futuristic possibilities.
But imagine a future where AI isn't just helping us find jobs,
Okay.
but it's actively guiding our career paths, anticipating industry shifts,
Wow.
recommending skills to acquire before we even realize we need them.
That would be wild, though, to know what skills to focus on
Right.
before they were even in high demand.
Exactly.
That's next level.
That's like getting in on the ground floor of every opportunity.
Right, exactly.
It sounds like science fiction, but then again,
So did a lot of things.
so did a lot of things that are now just part of our everyday lives.
Very true. Very true.
Technology is constantly evolving. The way we work is changing right along with it.
It is.
Platforms like RoleCatcher suggest that we're headed towards a future where personalized career guidance is
It's just going to be how it is.
it's going to be the norm.
That's kind of cool.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
It's a brave new world out there.
It is a brave new world. So if you are feeling lost in the job market
Overwhelmed by choices.
or just curious about what the future holds,
Give RoleCatcher a try.
it might be worth a look.
It might be. See what you think. See if it's for you.
It's a toolbox. It's got everything but the kitchen sink in there.
It does. It really does.
Well, thank you for taking us on this deep dive into the world of RoleCatcher.
Of course. Always a pleasure to be here.
It's been an adventure, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.